Hey everybody, we're live. Welcome to today's live stream. Today I'm going to be answering a ton of questions that I'm getting from my own clients, specifically in our accelerator program. But their questions were so relevant to everything going on, I think, for every course creator, that I didn't want to just keep this in our private client group. I wanted to go live and answer these questions so that everyone can benefit from this. And this is a theme you're going to see from us, especially over the next few weeks and few months, is just we are here to be a resource for all course creators in both our free and paid programs and free and paid content. So I want to share this with you beyond just our client group, although this is a discussion that came from our accelerator client group where a lot of people are asking questions right now. I understand where this is all coming from, and so I want to address it head on. I do have a lot of thoughts on marketing your course right now in the time of coronavirus, which none of us can ignore, and I don't think we should. I think that this is actually a great time for course creators, as a lot of you have seen. Online education is literally the entire world is switching to online education basically overnight. So in a lot of ways, this is the time for course creators. But I also want to address these very real and very legitimate questions. I got a lot of questions yesterday of people saying, should I be launching right now? Should I cancel my launch? Should I postpone my webinar that I have planned for next week? Should I stop marketing and selling my course altogether? I also got some questions from people being like, is it my responsibility to discount my course right now or do something like that? And just so many questions about what should I be doing or not be doing to market my course right now. And there's just a lot of questions around, what does it look like to continue selling your courses and continue marketing in the world that we live in today? Which, as I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's business as usual, but this is going to be, I have 6 very specific things I want to tell you today, okay? 6 messages that you need to hear and that you need to understand. If you have questions, type them in the chat. I'm going to be here for you. Just like I said, today and into the foreseeable future, I am your go-to resource if you have questions about, selling your course. If all of a sudden you're in a situation where you absolutely need your course to be working for you, we're here to help. So like I said, the dichotomy here is that it's not business as usual, and I truly believe that there is no reason for you to stop selling your course, okay? So today I'm going to talk about 6 things that you need to know and understand in order to go forward, and that I really want you to take to heart when you're grappling with how do I still promote myself so that I can pay my team and feed my family while we're in the face of this global crisis. And I will just say, I shouldn't even have to say this, but I do not have all the answers. I am going live today imperfectly. I do not have all the answers. I might very well say something that I regret 2 weeks from now and change my mind about. I am not perfect. I do not have all the answers. I do not know, what your situation is, and everyone needs to make a choice for themselves. But I do know that this is just how I feel about us as course creators right now. And I just wanted to say that, obviously I'm an imperfect person, but I'm here showing up, spur of the moment, just knew that we had to talk about this. So hopefully this is helpful and valuable for you. So like I said, it's not business as usual, but there's no reason for you to stop marketing your course, and I will tell you why, okay? So we're gonna talk about should I cancel my launch? Should I postpone my webinar? Should I stop promoting myself? Blah, blah, blah. We're gonna talk about all of that. Here's the thing. Your course either falls into one of 2 categories, something that we call an urgent need or a must-have, and you probably have a sense of this for your own course if you're a course creator. And then the other side of the spectrum is more of a nice to have, or a, something that's more hobby related or something like that. Now we're going to address both types of course creators today. And honestly, I have good news for both of you. Some of the language I'm going to be using today, just so that you're familiar, you might have heard these terms before. Sometimes people refer to certain products as painkillers. A painkiller product is like addresses an urgent need for someone. It is a must have, like not life or death, but something that is probably a poor choice of words. See, I'm already going to say things imperfectly. But it is a urgent need type of product. And then other people sell what, opposed to the painkiller, the other side of the spectrum is what we call like a vitamin product, which makes your life better, is a small improvement in your life, but isn't like a painkiller. So there's two sides of the spectrum, and I have good news for you, no matter if you sell one or the other, okay? So here's the number one. We're going into 6 things that I need to say here. Number one, if your course is something that people absolutely need right now, then it is your responsibility to make sure that the people who need it can buy it, and that they can buy it easily, okay? That they can buy it without jumping through hoops, that they can buy it and you can say, yep, I have a resource for that. I know this is an urgent need for you right now. Here's where you can go and buy it, okay? So it is your responsibility to continue selling your course if you're selling a painkiller or something that is an urgent need right now, something that people will absolutely be needing more now than ever, and they need to be able to do it from home virtually, okay? This is an absolute necessity now. It's no longer a cute nice to have. It's absolutely necessary that you make your course available and that you put it up there for people to be able to buy. Now, this is especially true if you serve any of the following niches that I'm about to go through right now. If you help business owners grow their business or build the foundations of their business or build financial stability or health in their business, budgeting, spending money, saving money, anything related to business growth, it's a pretty obvious one, but you need to make sure your course is available for people to buy, especially if you help people go from, being an offline business owner and bringing their work online, whether you work with speakers or authors or whoever, brick and mortar business owners or restaurant owners, like whatever you can do, whoever you work with, if it's business related, they need you more than ever right now. So it's especially true for that. It's also especially true if you're in the health and wellness industries. So if you're in the health and wellness industries, more important than ever that you still have your courses available. Even getting into like nutrition and stuff like that, people are going to be eating differently. People are going to be eating at home more, and people are going to be needing to stay healthy. They're going to be super hyper aware of making sure they're doing everything in their power to be healthier and be more cognizant of that than maybe they were even a few weeks ago. So if you teach anything health and wellness related, absolutely important. Similarly, if you teach stress management strategies or anxiety management strategies or any type of course that can help people manage their anxiety, manage their stress, that can calm them down, relax them. This could be anything from you teach meditation all the way to more spiritual things to, very practical, therapeutic techniques, anything like that. I'm just going to double check on the comments. You guys say hi if you're here and you're with us live. Say hi and ask any questions that you have. I am here to just answer them. So if you're here live in the chat, hi, excited to have you here. And very, very curious to hear your take on this. And if you have any resistance or we all feel it. We all feel it. That's why I'm showing up here today. Not perfect, but it's awkward. No one knows how to deal with this. No one knows what to do. No one has the answers. So we just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, okay? And that's what we're doing here today. As the entire world turns to online education and online resources, it's our job to step up. Like literally we are being called as course creators to step up. And I don't take that lightly, and I don't say that to be cute. I think it's like very real that we need to make sure our courses are available out there for people. So if you talk to people about stress or anxiety management in whatever format, that's going to be huge. Teaching people how to work out at home without a gym, without access to gym equipment, how to do workouts at home and stay active, therefore being healthy. movement in your body, but not having access to a gym, any equipment, or even people who live in a very small apartment, how can they remain active and healthy without being able to go out to the gym or go outside even in certain cases? That's going to be huge. Another big one is homeschooling. These are all real examples from my actual friends and people I talk to about this all the time, who are like, where can I, like, people are coming to me because I'm the course person, being like, Mariah, do you have a student who teaches homeschooling? Like, literally all of a sudden, as of last night, I now have to learn homeschooling today. Like, I have to know how to do that tomorrow. And so if you teach tutoring or homeschooling or anything like that, if you have a course about that, absolutely, it is your responsibility to make it available and to not stop selling it, okay? Let's see. A couple questions coming in, and I just want to address them as we go. Is it a bad idea to ask your audience their opinion and if it would be better to open the doors at a slightly later date, or is that opening a can of worms? I don't think you need to ask them because, and I'm going to talk about this in another point as we go through this, but you should still promote your course and just be very clear that you're making this available to the people who know that they need it more than ever right now, but you're not asking anyone to invest in your course if it's not the right time, which I will remind you is how we do things 24/7, 365, no matter what's going on in the world. We're always telling people, if you need this, it's here for you. If it's not the right thing or it's not a good idea for you to make an investment right now, totally fine. Here's all the free stuff that I can help you with. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second and how to navigate that as well. But I don't think you need to ask them, because I think you just need to say, here's how you can get this if you know that it's really important for you to have this right now. Especially for you, Morgan, if a lot of your audience maybe is moving from selling offline at craft fairs and now they need to like all the craft fairs that were planned for months and months and months, all canceled. They need to immediately get set up selling their stuff online. So it's all of a sudden an urgent need, and you don't need to ask them, you need to make it available to them. But you're, of course, just like any other day of the week, we're not asking people who shouldn't be investing to make too much of a stretch of a decision for them. And same thing goes for you, Cami. Should I continue or postpone? I'm going to tell you to continue. And I'm going to talk about some alternate things that you might want to incorporate. Okay. So yes. Awesome. Great question. And okay. About postponing your launch, canceling your launch, I have very specific things I want you to consider and ask yourself. So let's table that for a little bit later in the live stream. Okay. Getting back to what we were talking about. If you teach homeschooling or tutoring, absolutely necessary. Anything related to working from home, working remotely, if you can teach companies or people who run businesses to now run a remote team, the tools they need, the communication, how they can actually, from a tech standpoint, how can they run a remote team? Literally, people are like scrambling to make this work within a matter of days. You have to make your stuff known and available. So that means not tamping down your promotion, but making sure that you're telling people, hey, if you need something that has to do with this, I can actually help you with that. Here's the paid resource. If you're not ready for that, here's the free resources that I have on it. Let me know how I can help. Let me know how I can serve you. We have different ways that you can work with us, okay? Anything related to making a side income, working from home, working remotely, how to get a remote job. So you're either looking at it from the employer standpoint or the employee standpoint of how to get a work from home job, how to supplement your income with side businesses or side hustles. Anything related to self-reliance, which could mean self-reliance on the land, self-reliance in the home, self-reliance in a ton of different ways, which if you're in that niche, you know all about that and what that means, whether it's homesteading or any of those related industries. Same thing with permaculture or gardening. People are going to be, this is going to have an echo effect that will last beyond the container of however long this situation lasts. People will remember it. People who are going through this crisis right now will remember what it felt like. And they are going to be like, next time, I should always have, I should learn how to can my own, can my own food, or how to make my own pickle my own food, or preserve my own food, or things like that, that's going to stay. You know what I mean? That's going to have an echo effect beyond just the next few weeks or months. So anything relating to pickling, canning, cooking at home. Again, a lot of people who are used to going out all the time or ordering, takeout a lot, especially people in cities, they're going to be cooking from home a lot more often. So anything you can do to help people cook, especially if you can teach them how to cook with pantry staples or anything like that. And again, this isn't like to be, fearful or anything like that. But I know for me, like I just have more beans and canned tomatoes than I usually would be cooking with. And that's what we're working with right now. So if you can have creative recipes with that kind of stuff, I think that would be good. Anything related to home repairs, anything related to elder care, of course, that's going to be huge. And people are going to be looking for those resources. Now, I really want to make sure you understand this isn't to be opportunistic. It's not that. It's to serve people, okay? You're not creating, you're not going around saying, what's a new thing I could create to like take advantage of the situation? It's not that at all. I know you. I know your intention. I know your heart. I know it's the same as mine. And that's why we're on the same page. You just need to make sure that people can find your product and can buy it without jumping through hoops, and that they can get their hands on it. And that might mean being able to send them a link to a sales page, even if it's outside of a launch, or, setting up a really quick LTO or something. If you're in the accelerator, you should already have that so that you can really easily send people to it, because there's not a lot of time for people to go through hoops to find what they need. And it's also a matter of pointing them to your free resources if, for whatever reason, they shouldn't be investing in your paid course as well. Checking in on the comments real quick. Okay, so Lee is saying, I feel like pushing content on low libido, which is her niche, is silly, although I know deep down it's something that's still going on for my audience despite the coronavirus, and it hurts and causes serious issues. I'm sure this is a bit of a mindset issue. I feel like I'm taking up space in a serious time. Lee, in the same vein of everything I just talked about, which I want to mention, all those niches I just mentioned, those are not complete. That's an incomplete list. Lee, there are people who are who are self-quarantining with their partners right now, who are being confronted with something that they have been avoiding for a very long time. Okay? And I hope that you know what I mean by that people are being around, maybe they worked in two separate places and they only saw each other, a couple times a week or whatever. Now, all those couples that are having libido issues or relationship issues, they are all of a sudden in the same house 24/7 for the foreseeable future. That is a very relevant solution that you provide. And let me know if that makes sense, but I feel like that is, they are having to confront maybe something that they haven't dealt with. So I think that that's, yes. And just like Cammie said, I'm stuck at home with my partner for 2 months and we're gonna need something to do. Absolutely. Love it. Okay, Gabriella says, this is really good. We're gonna talk about this, Gabriella. I want you all to know this is on my list of the six things we're gonna talk about today. Gabriella says, I see that some of my colleagues are selling their courses with insane discounts. Is that a good strategy? No, absolutely not. I haven't mentioned anything about coronavirus yet. I'm not sure what to do, but this thing could affect my sales and I have faith that everything will be okay. I don't know how to help people without giving away my work. No, we are going to talk about that. And I will just say right now, discounting is not the answer at all. Not what we're going to do, but I have alternatives for you that I think will be helpful for you and for your audience. Okay. Okay. So in this same vein, more business, this is in the painkillers category. I want you guys to know that if you do serve business owners, more business owners are going to be in order to be frugal, basically, they're going to be DIYing something that they previously maybe would have outsourced. So things that someone maybe used to outsource to a virtual assistant or an agency or some outside freelancer, such as Facebook ads, Pinterest management, graphic design, anything like that, people are going to be opting for the more DIY option, which is I'd rather spend $500 for a course to learn how to do this myself. Again, in the interest of being self-sufficient as a business owner, I'd rather be able to do this myself than pay $2,500 a month and outsource it to a service provider or agency or freelancer. Again, Pinterest, management, social media management, graphic design, and Facebook ads are all, any sort of advertising. Those are all good examples of that. And people are going to be choosing to buy a course and learn how to do it themselves over hiring it out to someone for more expensive. So if you sell something in that category, then that's great for you. Okay. You should definitely keep promoting your course. Make sure people know about it. And again, I shouldn't even have to say this, but you guys know this isn't from a place of being opportunistic. This is from a place of being like, hey, I want to make sure you guys know I can help you, and this is how I can help you, and here's exactly how to access it. And if you can't afford that, that's fine. Here's my free resources where you can get really far along. And we'll talk about that more in a second. You have a painkiller. If these are some of the niches or industries you're in, you have a painkiller, you cannot take it off the shelf. Think about how you felt when you went to Target yesterday and all the shelves were empty. That's how it feels to your customers when in the face of a crisis, you disappear and you stop talking, you stop offering solutions, and you stop selling, and you just hide. That's how it feels, okay? This is an urgent need for them. This is the equivalent. They're literally looking around being like I said, I need to learn how to work out without any workout equipment starting tomorrow. I need to be able to homeschool my kids starting Monday. These are urgent needs. It's a painkiller. Don't take it off the shelf, okay? I know for me, as a personal example, last week, my biggest urgent need, my painkiller last week, was literally looking to buy a course on hosting bigger live events, because we are going to do our live event. And then, of course, as of last night, we had to cancel. And so we had to cancel our live event, and that's a topic for another day. I'll talk about that later. But so last week, my biggest urgent need was training on live events. Now, this week, as of yesterday, my biggest urgent need is training on how to take that live event and turn it into an online virtual event experience. So totally different. And now all of a sudden, that's my biggest urgent need. And I'm actively looking for anyone who sells any sort of program about how to host big multi-day, events online. And I for sure am not the only person who is searching for that. So that's number one. If you sell a painkiller, you got to keep selling it. It's literally your responsibility. People desperately need these solutions all of a sudden overnight, okay? It has to be something that they can do online with just an internet connection. Number two is if you are on the other side of the spectrum and you sell more of what we would call a vitamin product or course, which is that what you sell is more related to hobbies or an incremental improvement in your life, or it's related to enjoying your life or a nice to have. I have good news for you too. Here's the thing. People are going to be stuck at home for the next few weeks, if not months. It could be months that people are choosing to stay inside, stay home, and self-quarantine with their families. They're going to be stuck inside and looking for things to do from home. They're going to be looking for things to do on their own to keep themselves entertained. They're going to be looking for things to do to fill the time. They're going to be looking for things to do with their kids and with their husbands and wives and with their families. They're going to be looking for things to do to pass the time. So what this means is that after people get bored of the Netflix and the puzzles and they no longer want to, just sit around doing nothing all day, they're going to be looking to do something a little bit more productive or creative. And they're going to have all this time stuck at home to do it. Okay? And so what this means is people are going to be wanting to learn a new skill, brush up on, learning a language, learning how to do something they've never done before, learning how to play a song on the guitar, or practice the drums or whatever it is. In times like these, and if you've ever looked at stuff about like crisis and stuff like that, in times like these, people often look for distractions or entertainment or things that are just going to help them pass the time and feel a little bit like their life is back to normal for just a short period of time, which is why people like to get lost in like a fantasy movie or something like that. When things like this are happening, it's a little bit of an escape. Your course is going to fill that gap, especially since all the movie releases are canceled. So people are really going to be looking for other ways that they can engage with content that is not just passive, because that's going to get very boring very fast, but content that is engaging and allows them to do an activity either by themselves or with their family or spouse or whoever. So if your course helps people relax, if it helps people pass the time, even if it just helps them do something fun and something entertaining to just to get their mind off of everything for a little bit, then you need to keep selling it, because people are literally going to be like, I need to do something with all this time, right? So maybe you teach anything related to arts, creativity, calligraphy, hand drawing, drawing skills, anything related to painting, watercolor, digital painting. I'm trying to think of what else, like anything art related. The same thing goes for anything like music related, how to sing, how to dance. People are going to be like, I'm just going to learn how to do this song on guitar. Language skills. People are going to probably take this time to learn a language or do something that they've been putting off for years and years. People obviously want to crafts. Crafts is going to be a big one. If someone's stuck at home with their Cricut maker and they want to create all these new things, they have all this time to do it. These are all the things that people are going to be looking to do to fill the time and to have fun. And so there's this huge need, not only for the painkiller type courses that are a desperate, urgent need, but they're also a huge need for these entertainment, fun, creativity. Hey, let's sit down and learn how to watercolor paint this afternoon because the kids are home from school. You know what I mean? Same thing with personal development, spirituality. People are going to take the time to learn how to read tarot cards for the first time. These are the things that people are going to be like, what can I do when I'm stuck at home? Meditation, yoga, any kind of performance or anything, who knows, anything like that. Writing a memoir, writing fiction, creative writing a novel, anything like that is all going to be projects that people are going to want to dive into for right now. So I want to tell you that if you do something that you're like, my course feels so unimportant right now, it's literally just like a fun hobby thing, that's equally as important as the courses that are about homeschooling or elder care or health and wellness, because honestly, people are going to be needing that relief just as much as the practical stuff as well. Okay, let's see. Awesome. So that's number 2. Number 3, and as I said, ask questions as we go. Number 3, here's what I want you guys to understand. And we talked about this a little bit, but there's a big difference between making your course available for the people who need it and then pushing your course on people who really shouldn't be investing in it because of whatever situation they're in right now. And I don't even think I have to say this, but we're not doing the latter, right? We're not pushing our course on people who shouldn't be buying it. We're making our course available for the people who really, really want it and really, really need it, okay? And so any day of the week, like I said, no matter what was going on in the world, that's our policy anyway. And I know all my clients and people who follow me have that same policy, where we're never trying to push our course on someone who it's not a good fit for or who shouldn't be making a financial decision like that right now, right? We're not trying to do that. But what we are doing is making sure that it's easily accessible and available to people. And so there's a very big difference between, hey, I just want you guys to all know that my course can help you with this aspect. If this is something you need right now, it's here, it's available, let us know how we can help you, versus, oh, I'm trying to push it on people who don't need it. And I know that you guys aren't even going to do that. So it's really not an issue. You're making sure that it's available for people who can purchase it now. But I also want to point out that there are some people who are not in a position to be able to purchase from you right now, and that's okay. It's okay if someone isn't in a position because of whatever is going on that they can't buy from you right now. That's awesome. That's why it's even more important right now more than ever to make your audience aware of all the free resources that you have created over the years and that is available to people. People can learn from you from your free content, such as your blog posts, your podcasts, your videos, your free masterclasses, your trainings, any way that they can learn from you. I actually recommend that you send an email out to your audience and be like, look, you may or may not be able to purchase my course right now. You may or may not be in a position to afford it. If you can, great, here it is. And if this is something you need, it's here for you. Here's how to get it. And if you are in a position, I just want to make sure that you have access to all of these free resources that I've created over the years. And here are the things that I recommend you start with to really start, addressing whatever's going on with them. So how can you point your audience to your free resources, all the things that you've created, all the things that you're gonna create? Maybe you have a weekly podcast or a weekly video that goes out. How can you make sure that they know what those resources are so that if they're not in a position to buy from you, they're still getting lots of value from you and they know where to find it? Because they might not be searching the search bar around your website to know where to find this stuff, okay? Make it easy for them and give them almost like a directory in an email or something. Here's all the great resources you can use to help you right now for free, okay? Don't stop serving the people who want to buy from you right now. Do not try to make a decision for them. This is like my clients are used to me saying this. Stay out of their wallets, stay out of their, stay out of their purse. It's not for you to decide what someone can and can't afford. I know for me, I'm thinking right now, I need to invest in a program that will help me pull off a giant online virtual event. If someone said, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm taking that off the shelves because it doesn't feel right for me to be selling that right now, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Like, don't try to make that decision for me and say that I can't afford it. I'm telling you, I can afford it, I want it, and it is an urgent need for me, okay? So every single one of us, you might not know, but your audience feels that same way because for them, homeschooling is gonna be a very urgent need, and they're like, yeah, I have $500 to spend on this, and that is well worth it compared to being at home for the next, 2 months with kids that have no structure. So if you are someone who teaches a parenting course, anything that has to do with children, you will have so many customers. But honestly, like the parents need you right now because they're not used to dealing with this situation either. So like I said, don't try to make decisions for them. Give your audience choices. Here's how you can work with me in the paid capacity. Here's where you can buy from me. Here's all my free resources. Here's everything. How can I help you? Let me know what you need, okay? The other thing, guys, I know you know this, but you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your team, and you can't feed your family and pay payroll if you're not making money. So it's okay to sell, okay? It's okay to sell. I know that none of you here who are listening and none of you here who are my clients, I know that you're not doing it in an opportunistic way. You're just trying to serve, okay? You're just trying to help, and I know that, and they know that. Your audience knows that too, okay? Like, if you don't charge for your products, you can't help anybody, right? You truly can't. Like, super cliche, put your own oxygen mask on first. It's all true. I know that you have like a good heart and good intentions, but I truly think that trying to discount your courses or trying to like make them free or something like that, it is a huge disservice. It's not helping anyone, and that's not the right decision to make. I think you're very much going to regret that in many ways if you try to do that. So like the same thing I was thinking yesterday, when people are going to the grocery store, buying up all the food, the grocery store isn't making it so that all the food is free, right? The grocery store didn't take off all the price tags and say, okay, well, because people need more food right now, all the food is free, right? The restaurants you go to, they're not making everything free. They're saying, here's how you can get, they're making sure that they have enough supply to meet the demand. They're making sure it's clear that you can get stuff, and they're making it accessible. They're making it accessible at a price point that people can get, right? That's what we're doing. We're not saying, okay, now everything is free. That doesn't work for anybody. Now, here's the thing. If you don't want to, let me just double check on the comments real quick before I get into my next point here. Okay, love it. Seeing a lot of love this, 100% this. Love this idea of making a directory of resources to give my people exactly what they need. Yes, absolutely. This is where my mind is at right now. Okay, great. So glad you guys are feeling good about this. So here's my other thing about this, because I'm not really trying to convince you to like do your launch or do your webinar. What I'm trying to do is tell you that I'm trying to give you permission to continue doing that stuff if you want to. If you don't want to promote anything right now and you have your own personal stuff going on, truly, I don't know what, anyone here could have a family member that is sick, could know someone who, you know, is sick, like any one of these things. And so if you have your own stuff going on and you don't want to be promoting something right now and you're just overwhelmed and your kids are at home and like this is a whole new life for you, totally understand. There's no pressure here for you to launch or sell or do a webinar or anything like that. But I'm giving you permission that if you're thinking that you're not supposed to be launching, or that you need to stop talking about your offer because you think it's coming off as rude or off color, or like it's just tone deaf or something like that, or you're just thinking I should probably cancel my launch for the sake of being polite, I'm telling you that that doesn't serve anyone. So if it's coming from a place of I absolutely am, you know, I just can't handle this right now and I got my own personal stuff going on, great, that's fine. But if it's coming from a place of feeling the shoulds and I'm trying to be polite here and I'm not sure what to do, I don't think, like, make your offers known to the people who need them, okay? Don't hide them. Now, if anything, the last few days, I have seen an increase in people posting about their offers in a very clear, cut to the chase way. And I've seen this over and over again where people are just like, here, in case you need it, here's all the products I have, here's how you can buy them, and here's how they can help you. If you need to share this with friends, go ahead and do it. It's not done in an opportunistic way, but even, you know, I'm thinking of a very specific example where someone that I'm friends with posted a thing and said, look, I'm getting tons of questions right now about how I homeschool my kids. Here's how, here's the course that I recommend if you're going through this right now. Here's the course I recommend. So whether you're recommending your own product or someone else's product, that you're just saying, look, I'm getting a lot of questions about how to, you know, build a better budget for my family for the next few months. Great, here's the course I recommend on budgeting. Or, you know, if I'm getting a million questions about XYZ, I want to make sure you guys know, here's the course I have about it. Here's the free resources I have about it. Have at it, okay? So it can either be pointing to your own resources or pointing to someone else's course. But honestly, like, it's all courses, right? Like, there's no other way for people to get this information now. The entire world has shifted to online education in a matter of days. And it's only going to have a ripple effect and continue from here. That was point number 3. Point number 4. Number 4 is, this is something that I want you guys to start doing as soon as you can. It's honestly why I'm showing up right now today, even though I felt like I don't have the perfect thing to say, I don't have all the answers. I very much, everything is developing every day as we go. Now is the time to show the F up for your audience in your free content and in your paid content. Now is the time more than ever. Don't hide for a month and not say anything at all because you don't want to seem out of touch, or you don't want to seem silly, or you don't want to seem like you don't have the perfect thing to say, you don't know what to say. Don't get quiet, don't hide, don't stop talking altogether just because you don't know what to say. Because all of us feel it. I feel super awkward. Like, I don't know what the best situation and solution is. All I know is that I have feelings to share. And like, we all feel awkward. None of us know what to say in the perfect way, okay? We don't know what's going on at all. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up, speak from the heart, share how you're feeling, show up for your audience. They don't even care what you say. I mean, say something, but speak from the heart, say what's going on, acknowledge that there's a situation here, and talk about it, and just show up for them, okay? All you have to do is share from your heart right now. We need you. We need you. They need you. I need you. Like, truly. I'm literally thinking about the people who I follow online that if they just disappeared and went quiet on social media right now, I would feel very lost, because those are the people that you look to as a beacon of either entertainment or information or, inspiration or hope or whatever it is. Like, if those people stopped showing up because they thought that what they talked about wasn't important enough, I would be devastated and I would feel lost, because I look to those people for inspiration and for hope and for healing and for all of those things. And so your audience, I know it feels weird because you're like, I'm just a person, but your audience feels the same way about you. And if you stop showing up, you're just hurting them, right? Okay, so like I said, now is the time to show up and provide massive value. I think that we all have a huge opportunity right now. And so this is the time to show up, provide massive value, and serve people as much as you possibly can. Obviously, considering that you're taking care of yourself and your family as well, but serve people in your free communities and in your paid communities. Here's what I'm going to say about this. Not to be dramatic, but I think that this is kind of a test where the people who keep showing up now, the people who show up regardless of whether or not their audience can buy from them right now in this moment, regardless of how sales are doing, regardless of any of that, the people who keep showing up relentlessly for their audience during this time, those are the people whose businesses are going to be flourishing, thriving, and booming going forward. But the people who disappear, they are going to be struggling because in the time of need, they were gone, right? So again, take care of yourself first. If you have something personal going on, this doesn't apply to you. If you have something personal going on, take care of yourself first. Put on your oxygen mask. Go hibernate. Do whatever you need to do. That's totally fine. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, I just see this as an opportunity for us to serve our people in this like whole other level and keep showing up for people during this difficult time. And if you take care of yourself and you take care of your people, I just think that they're going to remember that. And going forward, they're going to become your customers when they can. Okay. And obviously some people are just going to become your customers now anyway. So people are going to remember that you showed up for them during this difficult time. They're going to remember that. And when they are in a position to buy from you, they will when they can. Okay. So now is the time. I would say you have an opportunity to be building your audience through sharing valuable content. This is a little bit of a technical, more of a practical tip, but if you're in a niche that is going to get an increase, a spike in search traffic on Google, on Pinterest, on YouTube, if you are in an industry or like I said, it could be vitamin or painkiller, it doesn't matter. Whether it's recipes that people are looking up on Pinterest, how to cook with, dried rice, or if people are looking up how to do a workout and yoga from home, or people are looking up how, homeschool lessons on YouTube or Google or whatever, like these are the things, if you are now is the opportunity to grow your audience. So although you may or may not see a dip in sales, I don't know, we haven't yet, and a lot, and we're kind of like seeing if our clients are, and I don't know if you're going to see a dip in sales. It might be totally fine. You may or may not, we don't know. But regardless of that, now is the time to be building your audience. There's going to be a huge spike in search traffic for certain categories and certain topics, and you should be showing up as much as possible, whether it's YouTube, Pinterest, or Google. Put your free content out there so that you're definitely building your audience during this time and providing value. And again, showing up as the person who, I was there for my audience when all this stuff was happening, and I was there to serve, I was there to help, and I was there to be a resource no matter what was going on. And truly, I want you to know that like I have had a conversation about this with my team. Like, we are here to be a resource for you. If you're a course creator, if you're not yet a course creator, but you know that suddenly, very suddenly, you need to get your work online into an online format, like if you are suddenly needing help with your course, like we're here to help. So that's my intention, to show up in that way over the next coming weeks and months. And we're planning a bunch of free online events that will help you guys. And I want you guys to do the same thing if you can, while still taking care of yourself and your family first, okay? Now, in terms of discounting your course, all that kind of stuff, here's what I'm going to say about the nuts and bolts of that. Don't discount your course. Absolutely not. Never, ever, ever do that. It's not the answer here. It feels like the answer, and I've seen like a couple people do it. They're doing it out of fear, or they're doing it out of scarcity. They're also doing it out of like, how do I say this? It's a misaligned intention. Like, they have a good intention, but they're executing it the wrong way by just giving people a discount. And honestly, like, I shouldn't even have to say this, but if you go and like deeply discount your course now, I don't even want to have to tell you that like your previous customers who bought at full price are not going to be happy, and I would never do that. So we're not discounting our courses. That's not what we're doing. It's not good for the long term. It's going to create a logistical nightmare, a mess. No. And it's not helping people. It doesn't serve anyone to discount your stuff, okay? Either they can get tons of value from your free resources, or they can do the paid thing and take it seriously and like get what they need, okay? Now here's an alternative. One alternative would be that you introduce an extended payment plan for your course. Maybe right now you have a pay in full price and a 3-month payment plan. Can you float it if you had a 6-month payment plan instead of a 3-month payment plan, so that the monthly payments were smaller? So I would say that an alternative to discounting is just having an extended payment plan that's longer than you normally would have. The next thing that you can do, and now normally I wouldn't recommend this as like a core part of your business model, what I'm about to say, but I think these are very unique times, and therefore we can get creative and do unique things to serve our audience. So what you can do is create a low-cost virtual workshop on a topic that is most pressing and most urgent to your audience. So if you know that your audience is struggling with something, or it's like the number one thing that they just need help with, this small little thing right now because of everything that's going on, you could do a low-cost virtual workshop. It's basically like a very inexpensive but paid webinar, where maybe it's like a 2-hour live training. People pay like $25 or $40 or something, and you do a low-cost training. That way it's very accessible to people. You're still getting paid because you need to feed your family and pay your team and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I said, normally I wouldn't say this is like a great business model, is like doing all these little one-off paid workshops for like a cheap price. But I think that right now that could be something that you do, because what it allows you to do is teach something valuable for a lower cost entry point that does not interfere with, or it doesn't have anything to do with your signature course, right? So you don't have to discount your signature course in order to offer this low cost live virtual workshop or something like that. That could be very valuable for your audience, but it's not the same as discounting your signature course. You see how those are different? So that's an option for you. Now, I don't think you should cancel your launch. You know, there's a lot of people here who talked about like, okay, but should I just like cancel my launch? I'm not going to cancel mine. And that's because I know that like more people than ever need what we have right now. And what I want you to get out of this entire live stream is honestly that, like, no matter what you teach, more people than ever are going to be looking for an online course on that topic, whether it's a urgent must-have or more of a entertainment, fun, creativity, learn a new skill because you have the time, whatever side of the spectrum you're on. I just truly want you to understand that more and more people are going to be searching for that in the coming weeks and months. So I don't think that there's any reason to stop your launch, move it, postpone it. If you have, use your best personal judgment. If you have a reason to move it yourself, great. Postpone it for your own benefit, for your own decision, that's fine. But I'm, making your solution available immediately, whether that means it's through a launch or through being on Evergreen. And if you're an accelerator client, you know what I'm talking about with like an LTO and stuff like that. If you're, if you don't have an Evergreen funnel set up, honestly, like now, I would never recommend this in normal times, but like making your course available, maybe it means having a link that you can send people to your sales page or something like that. Obviously it's better if it's actually set up in some way to be evergreen. It'll just be easier for you to manage, but like as long as your course is available for the people who need it, that's what matters most. So whether that's through a launch or through Evergreen, whichever way you sell your course, that's fine. But we need to make sure that the people can get it without jumping through hoops, okay? So I don't think that holding back your course is the answer here. And like I said, we're not doing discounts. Extended payment plans, alternative low-cost workshops, like those are all options for you, but don't go down that path because it's really hard to come back from. Your previous students are not gonna feel good about it. And honestly, like show up, serve your free community, serve your paid communities, and you'll be good. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying to ignore everything that's going on. This is not business as usual. Like I said, this is the balance here. It's not business as usual, but it's also not, everything should grind to a halt. No one should say anything about anything anymore. Don't talk about anything on the internet unless it's related to this crisis. Like I don't think that is the answer either, okay? So it's not business as usual, but it's also not, I should do nothing, say nothing, sell nothing, and everything should just stop. That just doesn't serve anyone. Your audience is really hoping for you to show up during this time with resources, with inspiration, with hope, and messages for them that will help them get through it. So please don't stop showing up just because you're nervous that you're not gonna say it the right way and that, you're gonna say something awkward or that you don't know how to talk about, stuff that's going on at the same time. Talk about it imperfectly, just like I'm doing today. Talk about it imperfectly. It can be awkward, it can be weird, no one knows what's going on, doesn't matter, okay? Give resources, speak, share, speak from the heart, sell your stuff, make sure it's available for the people who need it. Honestly, this is what I wanna leave you guys with. And I'm happy to answer any questions, okay? Any questions, because I'm about to wrap it up. Let me know in the chat if you have any last questions about this. The world needs course creators now more than ever. I am not saying that to be cute. This has got very real very fast, where all education is moving online in a matter of days. All work is going from being in person to being remote and virtual and online in a matter of days. This is huge. So honestly, course creators, the world needs us. They're going to be looking to us as a resource and as leaders right now. It is our time to step up, to be there for them, to give them the resources they need in a format that they can access. It is our time to shine, okay? So we can either choose to hide and go quiet and go dark and not serve people, or we can choose to step up, rise to the occasion. This is a call to action for us to serve our audiences in a bigger way than we've ever done before, honestly. Both our paid students and in our free communities and in our free resources. So anyway, try not to get emotional about it, but truly, I just want you guys to know that as a course creator, what you do is really important. And I think that what I saw yesterday in my own Facebook group was people saying, my course doesn't feel important enough to share about it in the context of everything that's happening. And that is what like breaks my heart, because you don't know the person who's out there right now who is desperately seeking the information that you share. And so please don't think that your course is not important enough to make it out available to the people who need it right now. And like I said, practical takeaways, I would say post in your social media, post on Facebook, post on Instagram or wherever, and send an email to your list. Really clear. Again, this is what I'm going to do, and what I would do is just saying, here's how I can help you with free resources. Here's them all listed out in a really easy to use directory so you can find them. Here's where I would start. And if you need immediate help implementing or XYZ or whatever, and you can, you're in a position to invest in it, here's some of the other ways I can help you. And just making sure people know what you have is available to them. So like I said, course creators, it's our time to step up. It's our time to shine. And we're going to have a big responsibility over the next few weeks and the next few months to take care of all these people who are, not in a pressure responsibility way, but there's going to be a lot of people who are at home who are going to be looking to people like us to support them. So I'm here to support you guys. I'm here to be a resource. If you have any questions about anything, obviously always let me know. Thank you so much for watching. And if you think this is relevant to anyone else who is marketing online, you can feel free to share it. And one last question, Cami says, would you still follow the Launch Your Signature course calendar, or would you make modifications? I would still follow it. I'm going to follow it. I'm going to follow our launch calendar because honestly, Cami, here's how I feel about it. The way that we teach launching is like super high value. We're providing free video content like every day leading up to the launch, during the launch, like it's nothing but value. And then there's this storytelling that allows people to buy if they want to. So I would be doing it, like I've already recorded all my launch videos and I think they're so awesome. Like I think they're great. So why would I hold them back and not share them when it's 99% of the launch is just free value content that's going to be really helpful for a lot of people. And obviously a small percentage of the people will buy, but I don't see any reason to not provide, when a launch like we do it is so much free value, I don't see any reason not to do that right now. So I'm going to be following it, and I don't have any modifications that I would necessarily recommend other than always follow your heart and do what feels right for you and use your best, your best personal judgment. If you get a vibe from yourself or from your audience that you want to change something, go ahead and do it. But like I said, I don't think there's any reason. Like I said, I know some of you guys are nervous to talk about this in general, and I think the best thing you can do is just acknowledge it and just be like, hey, this might be it's kind of weird right now, right? Like the world is kind of weird right now, but I do have this course available and I think it might help you. Like Cami, for you, I'm thinking about the thing I said about how more and more business owners are going to want to DIY their own stuff that they maybe previously would have put aside the budget to outsource. So maybe a couple months ago, I would have put aside $5,000 to have my website redesigned. Now I'm thinking, maybe I should just spend $500, buy a course about how to do my own website and be more self-reliant and be more self-sufficient right now and DIY it myself. Whereas maybe in a different time, someone would have outsourced that more freely. So I would say that, it's that same mentality for you. More and more people are going to be like, yeah, especially for you, Cami, more and more people are going to be like, oh shit, I need to move my entire in-person practice online, literally overnight. I know so many local businesses and local service providers that are having to literally take their business virtual overnight. It's crazy. So they're going to need to set up a website real quick. They're going to need to get online. They're going to need to start hosting coaching calls from virtually. I mean, all my in-person service providers locally that I know, they're like, okay, I guess I need to figure out how to use Zoom and how to use an online scheduler instead of a paper calendar in my office. These are legitimate things that to us, it's second nature, but the entire world moving to what we do on a daily basis is like a massive big deal. So for them, it's like a total change. So yeah, awesome. All right, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, email, social media, whatever we can do to help you. Any other resources or things that you need, let me know, because we are super committed over the next coming weeks and months to just provide whatever you guys need. So if we can do a training on it, if I can do a live stream on it, whatever can help you guys, let us know. I'm going to have a separate announcement about this, but we're working on a big free virtual event. We had to cancel our live event, which is a bummer. But the good news is we're replacing it with a huge, amazing virtual experience that's going to be so cool. Going to be tons of trainings, tons of value, Q&A panels, guest speakers, experts. It's going to be awesome. So that we can bring to thousands of people, and we can offer it to you guys for free. Whereas obviously our live event costs money to come to, and we can only host like 50 people at a time. So I think this is kind of an opportunity for us to serve you guys. So now it's like, okay, our audience needs help. Our perfect people like you guys, they need help right now more than ever. What can we provide them to give them the tools that they need? So here to help. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you need anything. Have a good day, and stay inside.